Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the Pristine review for the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus. Now, this video was a long time coming. I've had this phone for a very long time, and it came out, right around the beginning of 2018, and I got my hands on it. It took a while for me to get it, and I wasn't able to use it with some of the SIM cards that I had at the time, which was T-Mobile and Verizon, because it's the Chinese variant. I got it off of AliExpress.com. And once I found out that the phone was mostly compatible in the US with AT&T, then I just went and got a little prepaid AT&T SIM card, and I put it in it. And at that point, I was able to use it and really formulate an opinion about it to be able to do a review. I'm not one of those types of reviewers that can put together a review without actually using the phone and taking it out on, on a day-to-day basis and really get them some real world usage. I could, but I prefer not to, because I feel like in order for me to give you guys the most accurate information, I need to be able to use the device in real world uses. And that's why I say in the description under my reviews, detailed description after extensive real world usage. And so the fact that I just didn't have a SIM card that enabled me to have extensive real world usage on this phone is the reason why you didn't see a pristine review. You saw the unboxing, you saw a dedicated camera video for it, but there was no review. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the review after using it a lot. I think that this is the champion out of the $199 phones right now, which you can consider that to be a budget price, but I think this phone is more so of a mid-range device than a budget device, but it's being sold at a budget price, and it's probably even cheaper now than what I paid for it, which is also a good thing. So let's go. Price and specs. Now the price, like I said, I paid $199 for this at AliExpress. I think you can get this right now on AliExpress and other sources for like $169.99, if not cheaper. Pardon me. God, and I'm just blown away by the picture quality. I'm recording this video with my Lenovo Z5. As you guys have seen, this camera is amazing, and I'm just in shock and awe by the crystal clearness and the clarity that is before my eyes right now, man. I mean, so I'm in awe right now. This camera is really amazing on the Z5 Lenovo. Pardon me. The specs, we've got a Snapdragon 625 processor, which we already know is a very, very, very much so proven processor. Okay, we've got 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage that can be expanded. We've got, we don't have Type-C. We've got micro USB. And so I know that was a gripe with the device when it came out. We're like, come on, Xiaomi. I mean, it's 2018, micro USB. It does support fast charging, obviously not as fast as Type-C. It's not like dash charge or anything like that. And another thing to account for is we got a big 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which is huge. You can't expect for the charging times to be very, very fast, considering that it's got this big battery that it has to charge. As you can see, we do have the 18:9 aspect ratio. We don't have a notch. Some people have said that this isn't the most attractive phone, and I understand that. But I mean, as far as the screen quality, I mean, we've got a full HD 1080p panel, and you can see a lot of people feel like the bezels on the top and bottom are a little too extensive, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, I'm a big fan of the aspect ratio. It's a nice big screen. And so, you've got plenty of screen real estate to see everything that you want to see. I mean, watching media on this device is definitely a treat. And you got the battery capacity to accommodate, doing a lot of that type of stuff on this particular device. So, decent mid-range specs. I mean, the phone performs really well. Like I said, I mean, I've got my AT&T SIM card in here, so you can see right now AT&T 4G. So for all of you people out there that didn't believe that I got full 4G LTE connectivity, I'm in Seattle, Washington, and what does that say? If I get the camera to focus, you see all bars, you see AT&T, you see 4G. You see what I mean? August 2nd. Oh, I'm tripping. I got my days mixed up. I thought it was the 3rd. Oh, well, whatever. I'm a day ahead. But yeah, so nonetheless, you've got a very, very, very proven, snappy Snapdragon 625 processor. And that's also one of the most battery efficient processors that are out there. So you figure a Snapdragon 625 and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, you can expect to have battery life for days. Seriously. Now, the build quality. Okay. I believe we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. And then we've got this gold metal along the sides and the back. And, you know, I'm a fan of this. And, you know, it's interesting because when I bought this phone, it was funny. It's like this phone was $199 when I bought it, but the same phone, there was different colors. There was like a light blue, kind of like a Carolina blue that you can get. There was the black one. And I think there was another color as well. Those same specs, same phone, those were like $20 or $30 more. So those were like $229.99 or $239.99. This one here was just $199. So I wonder what it is about the gold version here as to why it was being sold for $20, $30 cheaper than the other colors. But it's the same device. I don't really get that. But nonetheless, I mean, the build quality, I mean, it's a metal phone. I mean, so the phone is definitely heavy. You definitely know that you got something in your pocket if you're walking around with this in your pocket. But nonetheless, I mean, you know, it feels good to hold ergonomically. You can see when I hold it upright that it's got the little curves on the edges. And so when you're holding it, I mean, it just kind of conforms to your hand. You can see it's not that wide of a device. I mean, obviously it's wider than my LG G7 here. And you can see the difference there. And you can see I got my case on the G7. I mean, so it adds a little bit of bulk, but not much. But it's not as thin as the G7 there. But still, I mean, it's not bad. Corners are nice and rounded. I mean, so you don't got a sharp corner digging into the palm of your hand. I mean, so from an ergonomic standpoint, I mean, even though this phone is a big phone, it's still a comfortable hold if you're able to manage a big device. Now, performance, as I mentioned, Snapdragon 625 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And again, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. I'm connected to my 4G LTE connection. And so just to kind of give you guys an idea of how snappy this device is, you see that? Okay. And matter of fact, here, let me hold this up so you guys can get this verse of the day off in you. Go ahead and pause that. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Man, y'all better take heed. Y'all better get in that book of life for sure. All right. Now let's go ahead and pop out of that. And let's see. Let's pop in Spotify real quick. I always like to go in Spotify just because it's one of the most, you know, data, a lot of content in that, man. A lot of content in that app. And so a lot of times it takes a while to get into it. And you can see, I mean, it's not struggling. I don't think. Is it in it? Oh, yeah, it's in it. But, yeah, you see it's still loading. I've got tons of content in my Spotify account. So I feel like that's more so attributed to the amount of content that's in the app as opposed to the phone just running slow. But we'll get out of that. And let's just pop in SoundCloud real quick. Okay. And so, you know, I also got a lot of music files in SoundCloud as well. So let's pop in Pandora real quick, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the length of time that it takes to get into certain applications. And again, a lot of this depends on what you got going in that particular app. Now, if I go to my YouTube studio, you see, just pops right into that. We'll get out of that. Let's go to YouTube. Okay. No thanks for YouTube TV. Okay, I see my man Jay Will. He got the Xiaomi Mi A2. Also look for that here on the Pristine Mobile Technologies. That's another Xiaomi device that just came out that I'm going to get my hands on. Very excited about that. But if you want to see it first, before my video, Jay Will, that's my man. Go ahead and check his video out as well. But you see, just scrolling through YouTube, that everything is just buttery smooth. And I like the setup here, you know, rather than the conventional up and down when you go into your recents. It's side to side, just kind of like an iPhone type of effect. And then if you want to get rid of application, you just swipe up, and this is how you can erase them. Or you can just hit the little X right there and it erases everything. Okay. So performance, I mean, you see just scrolling back and forth through apps on my different home screens. I like that transition, that little flip. I like the way that looks. God, my apologies, people. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got this little frog in my throat. But yeah, you are able to change the transitions, which is also a welcome feature. Helps with customizing the device. I like that. So I gotta say, performance on this device has been solid. Now, the cameras. Oh my goodness. The cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, pretty much all the videos that you've seen from like March onto this point have all been recorded with this camera. Okay, a lot of the thumbnail pictures that you see with all these different phones that I have been shot by this front-facing 5-megapixel camera. Okay, we've got a 5-megapixel shooter here on the front, and we've got a 12-megapixel primary camera on the back. Okay, we don't have a dual camera lens on the back. We've just got that single 12 megapixel. We do have a dual tone LED flash. You see, we've got the fingerprint sensor right there. And then, like I mentioned, oh, dropped the phone. Good thing the phone is durable, but this is like a sheet that I got, so it's nice and soft. Up, bumpy cam, my bad. But yeah, so check out that camera video. I mean, I can't really say much about the camera other than the fact that it is simply amazing. Simply amazing, both the front and back. All right, so check out that dedicated camera video that I did for this phone. It's called the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus / the camera. You know, I keep it very simple. All right, and let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, so moving forward, battery life. I already covered that a little bit. 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It's going to last you at least 2.5 days on one charge. That's what I got out of it. Now, again, I'm just a moderate user. You know, do a little bit of texting, a little bit of talking, a little bit of web browsing, a little bit of YouTube watching. Very easy with the way that I manage a phone to not have any battery problems at all whatsoever. But like I said, if you're a media beast, if you're a download beast, if you're always downloading, watching movies, streaming music, downloading music, you know, all that kind of stuff, social media, that stuff can fry through your battery pretty quick. But even still, this battery is so big, don't expect to just run through this battery with ease. It's definitely going to take you some time to do. Okay, so battery life, solid. As I mentioned, it's going to take you like 2 hours and 10 minutes to charge from 0 to 100, because again, there is fast charging technology, even though we've got micro USB, but it's not type C. It's not as fast. And you got a bigger battery that it has to charge from 0 to 100. So, you know, expect to hang out for a quick second, couple hours, and you should be topped all the way up from 0 to 100. All right. Now, all right, y'all. So additional features, man, where can I start? This phone has a lot of different things. Well, let's see. So the phone does not have facial recognition, but we do have the ability to, when you lock the device, double tap to wake. I like that. And then you just swipe up and you can put in your little number. We do have a fingerprint sensor right there. And so fingerprint sensor is very quick. And so you'll see, and when I lock the device, and I like here, the home button right here, which these buttons, you can change the configuration. When you hold the home button, that's how you turn off the screen. So you could double tap to wake, okay? And then, or, you know, just to wake up the screen and bring it to the lock screen. You don't have to do that. You can just simply touch the fingerprint sensor and it's open. But, and you see that, it's fast. It's open before I even turn the phone around. And you see I'm turning the phone around quick. Very fast fingerprint sensor. And again, if you want to lock the screen without having to reach up and, you know, touch the power button, then you just hold the home or the back button and you lock the screen. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Okay. So we got a lightning fast fingerprint sensor. I like the fact that you just hold the home button to lock the screen. We have the one-handed mode. If you want to get it to the left side, you just swipe across the navigation buttons at the bottom and you can get it to the left side, or swipe it to the right and get it to the right side. Okay, here's our one-handed view. So that's a very welcome feature. I like the fact here that you got a little settings button that you can go into. And this allows you to customize the one-handed mode. So you've got one-handed mode and you can change the inches. 4.5 inches is at 4 inches right now, or 3.5 inches. So you can change the size of the one-handed mode to be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. I can't say that I've seen that on devices that have one-handed mode. I mean, so that's a pretty slick little feature right there that Xiaomi is offering. And I know that Xiaomi, they offer a lot. I mean, they have a very robust amount of features and options in their devices, and so I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands in a lot more of their devices, mainly that Xiaomi Mi A2 and also the Mi Mix 3. So look forward to seeing those on the channel here as well. Now, I do like the fact that the settings menu is also a little different. Usually on Android devices, the About phone is all the way at the bottom, but I like the fact that it's at the top. You know, things just look a little bit different, you know what I mean? And so, and tons of options. I mean, here's all your display options here. You can see there, double tap to wake up the screen. We go into sound and vibration. Bunch of different options there. Now, one of the things that I like under dial pad tones is I like the fact that you can change the dial pad tone. So I've got it set to like a piano. So let's just see here. I'll go out of that and let me see if I can get this, if you guys can hear this. Right, that's pretty dope. Like that's just like, I just dialed just a random number. But you can change the dial pad tones. There's like a few different options. You know, I'm very musical. You know, I like live instruments. I love drums and percussions, and I love pianos and synthesizers. And so when I seen that option, I was like, yo, that's dope. Rather than the conventional noises for the dial pad tone, you can change it to a piano or a couple of other things. And so I like that. Now, popping back into settings, here is notification and status bar. So you can change the status bar, which is down here. You can change the button orientation. And so that's a nice feature to have. And then you've got, okay, so this is the notification and toggle layout. So right now I've got them combined. And what that is when I swipe down, that's just having all my toggles and my notifications right here, right? Now, if I hit separate, then what that does is it separates them. And so now when I swipe down, it's going to give me my notifications. And then when I'm going to get to my toggles, then I swipe to the right. Now that's, you know, I like that. It's different, right? So, you know, notifications on one page, quick toggles on the next. I mean, so for those of you that don't want your toggles and your notifications all grouped together, then you have the option to change that. That's pretty filthy. That's pretty dope, man. That's a dope little feature. I like that. Now, when we go to home screen and recents, wait, no, that's not where it's at. Okay, have to pause the video and find some stuff real quick because there's a lot of stuff here to mess around with. So under additional settings, okay, we've got obviously date and time, language and input, region, privacy, quick ball. Here is button and gesture shortcuts. And so when you hit that, then here is a lot of the buttons and gestures that you've got. You've got launch camera, which you tap on that and you can choose. You can double press the power button, long press the home button, long press the menu button, long press the back bar, or you can press the power and home, right? You've got, and I just got it set to none because I just like to just launch the camera conventionally. But you can set, you've got all these different settings on how you can launch the camera if that's what you want to do. Take a screenshot, slide 3 fingers down, launch Google Assistant, long press on the home button, turn off the screen, long press the back button, which I showed a little earlier. Turn on torch, which is the flashlight, long press the menu on the lock screen, close current app, don't have that set for anything, show menu, long press the menu button. So you see what I mean? We got mirror buttons, hide soft buttons, full screen mode, automatically disable navigation buttons. And so that's just to take full advantage of when you're in certain apps of the 18:9 aspect ratio. And so as you can see, man, this phone, I mean, there's a lot to play with here, and at a $199 price tag. You know, so for me, for the longest time, this is what I was telling people was the budget, the budget king, right? Especially after I was able to put a SIM card in it and start using it. But I knew that even before I had that ability, that this phone was just a beast because of everything that it does and everything that you can do with it. So there's a lot of things to play with. My overall final thoughts, definitely, you know, if you don't want to break the bank and you want a really good smartphone, a really, really good budget smartphone that is offering a whole lot, then the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus is going to be hard to top. You know, it was this phone as to why I couldn't give the new Mobile G3 the notch as the budget king. You know, it was this phone why I couldn't give the Honor 7X or the Huawei Mate SE the budget king. It was because of this device right here. This phone is an absolute monster in the budget category. And so, like I said, at a $199 price tag, that was when I bought it months ago. Right now, like I said, the lowest I've seen it was like $168. You may be even to get it a little cheaper than that. Okay. And I'll put a link in the description on where I got it so that you guys can check out that link, and you may be able to, like I said, find it a little bit cheaper if this is something that you're considering. All right. So can I recommend this device? Absolutely. I would recommend it to any and everybody. A lot of times I tell people, man, when they ask me what it is when I'm out with it, I'm like, man, it's the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus. They're like, what? Xiaomi? Who was that? What is that? A lot of people haven't even heard of these phones before. And I just love having the opportunity to inform people. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of what I do on this channel, and why I feature a lot of these different devices, because it's not, to me, all about the heavy hitters or the main name brands like Samsung, Apple, LG, HTC, you know what I'm saying? All them, you know, I'm all about a lot of these other companies that you haven't heard much about. Huawei, Honor, you know, OnePlus, New Mobile, Xiaomi, Oppo, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many phones out here, the Lenovo Z5, you know, there's so many options out here aside from the so-called heavy hitters out there, man. There's so many options. So definitely stay tuned, because I plan on having a lot more of these types of devices on the channel. So you guys already know, man, if you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've done like this one. Definitely stay tuned, because I've got so much more content to come. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be one of the first to be notified, and you can check out the content. And in the comment section, you can leave your feedback, voice your concerns, or have any questions or comments for me. I'll check those out, and I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I possibly can. All right. Again, much love to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Those of you that are new subscribers, I appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Pristine Mobile Tech. And you guys be sure to keep it locked, because I'm going to continue to do what I do here on Pristine Mobile Tech. So until the next video, you already know, please stay safe, get spiritually fit, and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus. I'm your man Pristine, bringing you all the content. We gon' holla. Peace.